It is time, it is time, it is time to get this game done. I plan on playing throughout the Lost Lake boss fight and whatever comes next now. I'm assuming there's another battle with Grandmother Silk. Other than that, I feel like this is the end, you know. We did some good attempts on Lost Lakes in the previous episodes. I was, however, a little bit drowsy because I recorded a lot that day, trying to, you know, wrap things up. But I think in the end, that was not the best thing when you kind of have to be a bit of focused in this game. So now let's see. At some point, I even lost my Rosaries. Calm down a little bit. I didn't do that one. Okay. I mean, that was a chill start. Chill start, chill start. Okay, there we go. Focusing. I spent like an hour in total trying to get this right, and it seems a lot easier than my performance. Is giving it out to me, making it out to me. Like, it doesn't seem like the most difficult fight ever, you know? Than I expected. Okay, back into phase 2. I mean, I think I'm assuming this is still phase 1 in some people's eyes. From here, this phase there's 4 phases in total that we encountered at least. So we're gonna take it chill, we're gonna take it away. We did it when we were successful. Starting to go on the closely again. That's everything. patience was the was the solution after all. Like, it isn't that really bloody battle. So now another phase, or what? Hey, the void is going away. Okay. 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 Grandmother Silk is not fighting us anymore. How long should we do this for? I'm gonna make sure that this is well done. Make sure this is a best literature. Let's go. She's no longer lost. The Everbloom is still shining, but we are not out yet. Oh no, it got destroyed. No. Yo, that's the Hollow Knight. That's the knight from Hollow Knight, and he becomes like he gets like void energy through like the Lord of Shades or something. He doesn't become the Lord of Shades, or is he the Lord of Shades at the end? Like, I don't remember the key bits of the story, but this seems, I think that's one of the few things I remember. But so the knight is just like in the void. But it's not responsible for that destruction, right? To be fair, Lace's laugh is killing me. It has driven me insane. Sister of the void. Oh. Hey, it's a herald. Smash the mushroom. What? Okay, there's more. Okay, fine. It's so funny though. Is that like a secret cutscene? Yeah, that's a secret cutscene because purely because of that, no? Purely because of what we get. Purely because of the completing the wish. Oh my god, my brain is totally a mess after fighting Lace for so long. You don't know how long I have fought Lace. You don't know. You don't know, okay? You don't know. Time to enjoy the credits, I guess. Also, I guess it's good to say that by the time I finish this game, which is after, this is obviously in December 2025, which this will also release, but the date of the recording is on the 19th of December. So that's after the Game Awards, and in the Game Awards, at the Game Awards, there was a release announcement. The release announcement of a DLC for Hollow Knight Silksong, and that is called Sea of Shadows, I think. So I am going to make an assumption that the to be continued bit is related to Mr. Mushroom. So whatever happens next, we will at least be able to do it. The secret little cutscene that we got, it was quite fun to run around 12 places again. And I sort of just saw it as a kind of a mechanic to revisit places that might have changed during Act 3. Well, seems to be a lot more to it, doesn't it? And it did have a very funny token on the wish as well. So, you know, that's cool. What else? It has taken me quite a while to finish Silksong. Take me 3 months basically, for various reasons, but I've been releasing episodes 3 times a week. That was the entire movie, the entire credits. Through the practice and dangers, you're preserved. Thank you for exploring the world of Hollow Knight Silksong. Let's meet again on the road ahead. Team Cherry. Are you serious? The team's that small? No wonder it took that long to make the game. Still so good though. But yeah, it took me like 3 months to finish the game. A lot of things happened in those 3 months. The big thing so is this as well. Ooh, very cool, very cool, very cool, very cool. On my end, and that's the reason I took a break from filming for a little bit as well. But things were still scheduled, moving ahead. So you know, chilling with this little channel. However, subscriptions will be very important. I did write down some little notes on Silksong in case I was able to finish this episode, which is actually episode 50 as well, I think. So it's pretty like, oh, we actually made it by episode 50, sort of what my estimate was. And I'm assuming we're still at 99% completion based on the other things. Obviously, the best things about the game is the gameplay. Movement is fluid, super tight combat, exploration always seems to reward you. Rewarded regardless of that is with mask shot, or is deployed a mask shot. I'll make a note on that for another comment. Whether you're getting shards or rosaries, you're always getting a little something for just slashing the walls, and it feels very good when you get anything. And obviously, as a Metroidvania kind of style, you come back to places. The only difficult part I had with that was when to use the soar ability, where you sort of blast up. That was hard for me to realize was a thing, but I'm not sure if that skill is in Hollow Knight as well or something similar, and maybe some people would have already picked up on that, having played Hollow Knight, and I just didn't. So they would be making note of the potential areas with that earlier. Boss fights, they feel annoyingly fair, so they are well designed. I feel like I got better throughout the game, and I feel like going back to the initial fights now would just be like so easy. It is very funny though, like with my favorite nemesis in the beginning, Savage Beastfly. I spent so long on Savage Beastfly the first time you encounter Savage Beastfly, and that was horrible. But it's not supposed to be that hard, I think. But I did see some sentiment online that basically agreed with me. So I think a lot of people struggle with that fight. Probably one of the early spikes in the game. Noises. But yeah, F Savage Beastfly, and then I think the next one for me was Raging Conchfly, and the boss in Bilewater. In Bilewater, the most annoying thing was not the boss; it was getting to the boss, which probably is just testing your traversal skills to the limit, pushing them to the limit, because the boss is fair and it's not complicated, so it's more of, as long as you get there and you're patient on it, it's okay. But the raging control, I was like, I don't know how I got through that. That was just pure luck, pure just blasting tools at it, and I just got lucky. I think that was not fair, man. That was not fair. The problem, I spent probably the longest though on Lost Lace. The problem is that I think that's more because I just wasn't mentally refreshed, like I was in this episode now, because that went pretty quickly after a little break, and I totally recommend doing it that way for anyone playing this sort of game. Just take a break and come back, because that's usually how you end up beating bosses. I don't know if your brain just processes it or not, but I don't know how it happens, but like I was like sweating a little bit by the end, and when I was recording it initially, I was like, oh my god, I was like, oh, it's been so long, but no, and then I come back in this round, and I was like, okay, yeah, just took a chill, that's it, because the mechanic doesn't really change. There's a few more things to avoid, and I already had gotten used to what they were earlier. Yeah, 99% completion, 60 hours ended up being for me. 60 hours, 50 episodes. So yeah, pretty good, I think. Story, I think the main thing for me are all the ideas that you no, ideas, not really, I wouldn't say ideas actually, I would say the memorable characters, and I think obviously have like Sherma, which went viral basically, but also stuff people like Garment and Sasa that's just like going around, and then you see them get lost in the end, which is horrible, and yeah, just these small things, and then you have Chakra, and you follow her journey like all the way up, you find her mother in the end, and it's just, oh my god, you follow them throughout, and you see what happens to Bellheart across time, these sort of things. I guess environmental storytelling is a word for it as well, and I think that sort of distracted me as well from the main plot too, because it was so well done basically that there was a point where I just lost track of what the main story was. Maybe now, for example, I was expecting another fight with Grandmother Sylvia, something like that, voidy, but got the Lost Lace Files, was it, which is great too, but I know there was interactions with Lace, as I don't know if it was like memory or some sort of psychic connection or whatever it was, multiple times, but I don't remember the dialogue because I was so focused on everything else. And to be fair, maybe just Lace's laughter has had trauma that traumatized me as well. So you know. Let me see what else. Yeah, so I guess with that, what I'm trying to say is that I felt a bit lost with what everything was trying to connect main story wise, but I think with these games, actually, in my opinion, everything was cool, everything was great, seemed great, flowed, and I think that's the more important as a story aspect in these sort of games. Like, I know there is more lore on these things, but I am not that deep in it, right? So it's like I think you have to get deep in that, you have to go outside of the game and like check people's analysis of it, these sort of things. And I feel like it's very hard to experience the full lore within the game and remember it. But just knowing that it's there, I like, okay, this is an option. The gameplay is way more important than the story in this sort of games, and it was smooth, it was fluid. The one thing I would say about the gameplay was the crest. So, and the timing of when you get the crest. For example, for me, I need to have time to get used to the crests. I obviously like the Reaper the most if you've been following this, but I would, for example, have liked to try the both the Beast more. Like the Beast was an early one, and I just didn't feel good enough in the beginning. I feel like it could have gotten good enough, so that was like, but I'm thinking more. But the time that these crests come, the Beast comes as a good time for you to learn it. But in terms of crests like Shaman and even Witch, I think less so. Architect is more in the middle. But I think when I got the Architect, it was more towards the end of Act 2, so I feel like I was approaching the end. But the for example, Shaman especially is like, oh, I get this, and it's like, I am not going to learn how to use this by when I'm finishing the game, because I'm not. I don't want to feel bad again. I want to continue getting better. So you have to go a bit down again. So I didn't like that as much. Also, another challenge, another critical that it has is that it's about the mask fragments. The mask fragments. I'm missing one mask shot, I think, to get everything there, and that would make me. I don't know if that wouldn't push me to 100% because I guess it would be another journal entry, right? And mementos, I don't know if they count towards 100% on this as well. But if it would be so amazing if, like, at the end of the game you could have like some sort of characters be like, oh, I will give you the location of these things for X amount of rosaries or whatever, just so I can mark it off my map, because it's so easy to just lose, to miss one or two, maybe, you know. I think I missed only one, or else I have missed 6. Then that doesn't count at all, and it's on me. But or I mean 5, or else I missed 5, and there would be like another full mask there. But you know, I don't think there is. Basically, I don't like being pushed to look things up online for those sort of things. Like, I want it to be an option to me to earn the locations in game. Some things like some puzzles and stuff I did look up online. I have described when I have used the internet every time, and it's been in scenarios where I'm sort of okay with it, but then it's like, okay, I have found the puzzle, I know something is here, I just don't know if I need to do something, and I cannot figure out what it is. Then it's like, okay, I spend some time thinking about it, and then if I can't figure it out by myself, then I check. Then I'm like, okay, cool. Then I will sort of learn the thinking a little bit for later. What else did I have to say? No, that's it, I think. Sims. Oh, yes. For the Hunter's Journal, I talked a little bit of the Hunter's Journals in the last few episodes, because I think I've gotten most of the encounters. I'm missing one encounter, maybe, which could be a boss fight, I assume. And maybe that's where the last mask fragment is as well. But I think what I didn't really like about the Hunter's Journal is the completion part, and I think there are parts that I cannot complete if I go back, because it will force you to die to be able to complete it in a few scenarios. I think, for example, in the Coral Tower, which was very recent, I think there are creatures in the Coral Tower that is only in the Coral Tower. Maybe there are somewhere else as well, and I didn't know, of course, so that this is just a caveat to this thinking. If I survive, I don't die through the whole climb, and I only do a couple attempts on the boss, then I'm not completing the journal entries for a lot of the creatures there, which is, I don't think is great. this is so ideally basically I would say that I would like to let a full run, killing everything that is there. Sometimes of course you can decide that you are going to return, and that's fine. Especially in those scenarios, don't lock me out of completing those, for example. Other than that, that's me being like super critical, and I think these are all very small caveats. Because I really enjoyed this game. I finished the 60-hour game, obviously. I completed 99% of it. I wouldn't have done that if I didn't enjoy it, obviously. That would be pure masochism, you know. Okay. So, yeah, small caveats. Excellent gameplay, like the boss design, the atmospheric world, especially the characters, smaller characters. For me, it's like a 9 out of 10 game. Because I'm able to identify these caveats, and it's because it bothers me. It's not a 10 out of 10 for me, you know. But for many that don't care, this is a 10 out of 10, you know. So I think that's fine, and I really want to play the expansion that was released, and not was released, but it's announced. When it comes out next year, might be on the channel as well. I feel like that would be very appropriate. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe, and let me know what to play next. And okay, bye.